So hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back in Saigon. Had a great couple of days in Bangkok, but it's nice to be back in Vietnam. You can see the grey clouds looming in the distance there. I'm just on the way to the shops, hopefully gonna dodge the rain. But I'm a little worried guys, and I'm a little worried about the cost of living and the prices. So at the moment, the elephant in the room is inflation. And in Vietnam, in the last 8 or 9 months, we've seen fuel prices go up 51%. We've seen food costs go up between 10 and 50%. And these are not just figures I'm quoting from the news. These are figures that I see every day. I like shopping, I like cooking, and I tend to buy the same stuff. And I can see things are going up from like 30,000 to 45, 50,000, in some cases doubling in price. And I'm pretty worried guys, because Vietnam is a low middle income country, and the majority of citizens here are on a low wage. They work multiple jobs just to get by. And of course they're paid in Vietnamese dong, they're not paid in US dollar. And the dong to dollar rate at the moment is around 23,400, which is one of the weakest it's been in many, many years. So this is adding to inflationary pressure and causing real difficulties for the locals here. Of course, some people are better able to absorb price fluctuations. You know, it sucks for everyone, but if you're earning $200 a month and you got 3 kids, you're in trouble. Another problem here is rent. Rent is shooting up. I have friends who've been asked by their landlords to accept rent increases of 35, 40%. It's just too much. So how much of this is genuine cost increases? How much of this is profiteering on the back of cost increases? I don't know. And that's what I'm worried about. There was a story in the UK recently where a very, very famous food brand called Heinz, they make ketchup, sauces, baked beans, you probably know it guys. And the store, one of the biggest supermarkets in the UK, Tesco, equivalent to like Walmart in the US, they basically stopped stocking Heinz products because Heinz had jacked up their prices by like 45%. And the CEO of Tesco said, he's like, why? You know, okay, inflation is 9% in the UK, but how can you justify 45%? And I'm worried about this happening in Vietnam, and I'm seeing it happening with fuel prices and day-to-day items, staples. Meat prices up 35%, fish 40%. It keeps going up. It's not just, you know, like normally you get the post-Tet price increase after Tet in February, January, February, prices go up maybe 5-6%. No, they're going up every couple of weeks now. So inflation in Vietnam at the moment is around 3.5%, I believe, and the State Bank of Vietnam will take action when it gets to 4%. So what that action is, I'm not sure. I'm not an economist, but I believe it will be typical and similar to other countries. So you'll see things like base rate hikes, quantitative easing, money being injected into banking systems. But HSBC have forecast inflation hitting that 4% pretty soon. Let's take the road less traveled here. So what does that mean for Vietnam? Well, Vietnam is no stranger to inflation. I think it was around 2008 when the inflation rate here was like 28%. It was crazy high. So the people here, I don't want to say they're used to it. They've experienced it to a higher percentage and a higher degree compared to other countries. But it's not a good thing. Inflation is quite insidious, and it's not good for the economy at all, especially post-COVID. So what are the reasons for this? Well, geopolitical tensions, the obvious one at the moment is Russia and Ukraine. This is causing all sorts of financial problems. Export of goods like grain from Ukraine is being prohibited. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I hear this is having huge effects on the global food chain and will do for the next year or so. There's predictions of global food crisis, which is extremely concerning. But Vietnam is in a good place. Its GDP is growing. I think it's twice the rate of Thailand. HSBC again predicting, I think it's 6.9% GDP growth rate this year, which is very, very good when most of the world seems to be heading towards recession. But my hope is that companies here don't profiteer from inflation. So an example of this was I flew to Thailand a few days ago, flew back. It's a 1 hour and 10-minute flight, guys. It's so near. That flight cost me over 5 million VND, which is about $215 for a 1 hour flight. And that's expensive. You used to be able to make that flight for about $70 or $80. Of course, I understand there's a post-COVID clawback of revenue, and of course, fuel prices are high. But still, it's concerning. I'm sure Vietnam doesn't want to see the days of plus 20% inflation again, but I don't believe that it's 3.5%. I just don't think it is. I think it's a lot more. So cost of living here is increasing very rapidly. And whilst of course it affects different people by vastly varying degrees, it's the vast majority of the population who are on a lower wage that are really getting hammered at the moment and will continue to be hammered into the future, and it's worrying for them and it's worrying for the country, I think. So my colleagues in the healthcare sector, they're doctors, nurses, they've quit in droves recently. So one of them actually quit to start driving a Grab motorbike, the delivery app, because he could make more money doing a private clinic in the evening and delivering pizzas through Grab in the night. And that's crazy. Every country needs good doctors, but that is a reality to make ends meet. And you got to do what you got to do. And when people are backed into a corner, well, who knows, right? So it's a worrying time for the whole world, but especially for lower income countries such as Vietnam. So guys, just a quick one today. I wanted to touch on the topic of inflation and rising prices, cost of living in Vietnam, because it's changing very rapidly at the moment. So I'd love to get your comments below. I'd love to start a discussion on this. Are you living in Vietnam now? Are you Vietnamese? Are you a foreigner? How are you coping with the increase in prices? What do you think will happen in the future? What are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? Please leave me a comment. And if you're new to my channel, guys, I'd love to get your support. Please think about subscribing. Plenty more cool stuff to come from Vietnam. So I'm off shopping, guys. Have a great day. Catch you later.